SE18QA. SE8QA. Yes. No, I'm homeless. Hello. One moment, please. Yes, I can hear you. Yes. I was at 98 Narboni Street, number 98 Narboni Avenue. Pardon? SW4 9LG. Oh, different places. I have to avoid the street workers because people will report me. Oh, no, you don't seem to understand. I can't live indoors. I have severe behavioral problem. I make a lot of noise in the nighttime and it will wake anybody else up. Behavioral problems. I have a brain injury. Well, I don't mind the cold. It's okay. I just don't like the wet. But I'm 62 years old, and I have lived like this most of my life. I understand how those services work, and they're not suitable for me. Yeah, yes, I think he did not understand. I really tried very hard to explain my situation as clearly as I possibly could, but he just did not understand the limitation placed upon people who have a lack of mental capacity. He phoned me up. Exactly. Ah, well, that's That's not what he led me to believe, but never mind. Well, the calls are recorded, and I've written to your subject access department to get copies of the recording so I can clarify. But he did lead me on to believe that that's exactly what he was by the way he spoke. I should have asked him directly, perhaps. Then it would have been more clear. So the justice system insists that I have to have a guardian. Otherwise, they can't deal with me because I have seizures and can't make myself understood. So, in order to have a guardian, then I have to find a person who's suitable. And the problem is that the people I find are not suitable. They need training. And so I have 35 years of brain injury, and so I put together my own programs, but I don't know where to. I don't have any. How can I? I don't know how to say it. I don't have any place how I can get the guardian trained. If I find a guardian and I have a training program, I don't have I don't have any structure by which I can train them. All I've got is some words on a piece of paper, but that doesn't mean that if somebody even reads that, doesn't mean that they're trained. Um, what it is that if I have a problem, let's say for example, the other day I was assaulted by, and I went to a lawyer, and the lawyer said they can't help me unless I agree to undergo a mental capacity exam, and I can't do that because I would fail it, and then once I fail my mental capacity exam, I wouldn't be able to instruct the lawyer. No, it's a deputy. It's a deputy. Yeah, I've had it done. I've I've had it done several times. My medical paper. Yes, two doctors in Bristol. And so I sent my papers to the Court of Protection 3 years ago, and they're sitting there in the Court of Protection, and they just refuse to communicate with me. No, two doctors in Bristol. I went to a lawyer because I was being abused, and the lawyer was trying to help me, but because I kept having seizures, they couldn't take my instruction. So they had to get some doctors involved who kept saying I didn't have mental capacity. So instead of me instructing the lawyers were instructed by the official solicitor. And the official solicitor never met me, and he made a complete mess of things. So that's why I have to have my own guardian, somebody who knows me, somebody who sees me every day, somebody who knows what I'm like when I'm not having a seizure. And so when I go to a lawyer and try to speak to them and I have a seizure, the deputy can continue and explain what I'm trying to explain. No, they don't advocate on my behalf. They're there, they're not advocating on my behalf. They are there to make sure that that the lawyer or the judge or whoever it is doesn't call an ambulance, and they keep the proceedings going. They ask for a little bit of extra time until I come out of the seizure, and then we can continue. Otherwise, they will just become confused and dismiss me and get rid of me. I don't know. All I know is that the lawyers and the judges tell me I have to have a deputy or a guardian. So that's what I've been working on. And so eventually I found a deputy, but the deputy can't cope because trying to deal with a disabled person in a brain injury who can't even push their wheelchair properly is too much for them. And they ended up with mental health problems and they had to abandon me. It's been done several times. It's already been done several times. And on top of that, yes, that's right. It's all been done. I've got a doctor to complete the medical section of the COP 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever it is. All the papers have been sitting there in the Court of Protection for 3 years. But I've done it many times. I'm sick to my teeth of it. I keep going there to First Avenue House, fifth floor, but they can't deal with me because sometimes I have a seizure. The other day I was in the lift, I had a seizure, and the court manager was in the lift with me, and I ended up getting assaulted and thrown out by security because they claimed that when I was having a seizure, the court manager got hurt. I had a seizure in the lift in the Court of Protection going up to the fifth floor. I had a seizure. Fifth Avenue House, High Holborn. They know me very well there. Generally speaking, they're quite tolerant, but they don't have the same staff every day. And I have complained about my treatment when it's appropriate. But the problem is that for some reason, the complaint system in the Ministry of Justice is pretty much non-existent. They just don't want to accept accountability when things go wrong. I apologize. I apologize if somebody got hit or somebody got hurt when I was having a seizure. But really, they're not set up to deal with disabled people coming into their building. It's not really disabled accessible. If I if I have a seizure, there's a lift. Exactly. I was in the lift. There are four lifts. And my argument was that the court manager did not have to come in the lift with me. If they were in a lift with a person who's disabled and has seizure and there's a problem, why can't they get out and take another lift? But they squeezed in. It was a small lift and they squeezed in and I had a seizure. There was the problem. They don't, from their point of view, they're not accustomed to having disabled people coming into their building and having seizures. And if something goes wrong, well, it's not them who's to blame because they're entitled to live in their perfect world without people who behave antisocially. And I'm sure you can realize that a seizure is very antisocial. Yeah, and they have zero tolerance. They don't tolerate these things. There's no medical training. Yes, I'm still here. The line is breaking up a little bit. Are you